Okay, this next session is going to be based on just improving your mobility and flexibility around the hips, the hip flexors and the inner thighs. Okay, so just a series of standing stretches, movements, and 2 or 3 movements on the ground. Okay, so first of all, we're just going to start with a little posture check. So just draw the shoulders back, lift them up, draw them back and relax them down. Nice tight core, so breathe in through nose. On the exhale out through mouth, suck in your midsection, nice and tight in towards your spine. Okay, so first of all, we're going to just take a nice wide stance on the feet. Your feet want to be pointing out, your toes are pointing out there, and we're going to get ready for a bend in the knees, and then we're going to slide the right foot along the ground. We're going to lift the knee up, and we're going to have an outward rotation. So here we go, just draw those, have your hands onto your hips, should I say, take a breath in. As you blow out, just bend those knees. Now with your right foot, if you just slide that along the floor, bring it into a knee lift, step down, bend your knees again, slide your left foot along the floor, bring it into an outward rotation there. So bend again, slide your foot along the ground, bend the knees to 90 if you can, and slide and rotate. So here we're getting a good warm up into your inner thighs, but we're also just starting to mobilize the hips. Okay, so just take your time, probably slower than me, just nice and steady, slide the foot along the floor, outward rotation with the knee, bend the knees again, slide that foot along, lift and bend all the way back down. Okay, so that's part one. Part two, just a very simple hip warm up now. We're going to just have your left heel off the ground, you've got your heels together, and we're just going to simply outwardly rotate the left knee to the left, then bring the knee back to the middle. So just keep those hips facing forwards, nice and slow. So if you haven't got much mobility in your hips, you'll hopefully just start to loosen up the muscles in that area now. So that's part one. Part two, if you can, if you just put your left foot on the inside of your right calf, start with your knee pointing out, and then just try to bring in left knee to the middle, then out to the left again. So it's not as easy as it looks this, you're just going to work at your own level, but if you've gone for this level, you might find that you're just starting to feel a little bit easier now on this movement. Okay, so level 3 is just a case of sliding your left leg up even higher, your left foot, shall I say, up towards your right inner thigh, and then again keeping those hips facing forwards. Just let the left knee do the work. Okay, a little bit harder with this one. My best excuse is that my foot is sliding down my right thigh, but I'll do one more, and then from there, keeping that right foot fixed on the ground, step back onto the ball of your left foot, folks. Keep the hands on your hips, take a breath in, just put some bend into that right knee, and if you just lean back a little bit, you should feel a good stretch down the front of the left hip flexor there. Okay, so just hold. I'll turn myself for the demo. So from the side, this is what we're looking for. Just get that left heel off the ground, right knee bent, but leaning back a little bit there to really get in to that left inner upper thigh hip area. So just from there, come back in, draw the shoulders back and down, ready for the second hip opener now. So first of all, lifting that right heel off the ground and just going for a bit of basic outward rotation with the right knee there. Okay, nice and steady. Stick with this level if you want, or if you can, right foot on the inside of your left calf, and keeping the hips facing forwards. If you can, just try to outwardly rotate that right knee now. You might feel a few clicks going off. I can certainly feel some in my right hip here. So it probably means need more hip mobility. Okay, so either stick with that level, or if you think you can, just slide your right foot up a bit higher, just above into your left inner thigh, and give that a go as well. Try to keep the shoulders down, hips facing forwards, nice outward rotation. So improving that mobility in the hip joints, nice and slow. bring the foot down then, okay? So this time, just take a breath, blow out, step back onto the ball with the right foot now. Keep that left foot flat, guys, and then just lean back a bit, and you should feel a stretch going on in that right of your upper thigh. So just hold it there. I'll move to the side, keeping the left foot flat on the ball with the right foot behind. Just bend that left knee, lean back a bit though, and feel that stretch going on right into your right upper thigh. Okay, so that's number 3. We're going to come into some more hip mobility now. So again, holding onto the hips a lot for these movements, but that's fine. Okay, so here we are, ready to just lift your left knee up to about hip height level, and then just keeping the hips facing forward if you can. Try to plant your left foot down flat, so that left foot will be pointing out laterally, and then lift the left knee up again. Place your foot down now. Alright, so here we are with the right leg, just lifting right knee to hip height, hips facing forwards, but try to outwardly rotate right leg with right foot pointing out as well. Lift the knee slowly back in and put it down. So don't worry if you can't go out too far. Just take your time, nice and slow. Lift the knee to hip height, outwardly rotate, plant the left foot down, toes pointing out as well. Lift and bring back in. We'll do one more with your right leg then. Lift that right heel, lift your right knee, and outwardly rotate the leg. Plant your flat foot down. Definitely feeling clicks on my right hip, but just take it nice and steady. Lift the knee, and then putting it down. So we're going to try to maybe take the hands off the hips for this next deep stretch for your inner thighs. Okay, so this is going to open your hip. Just draw the shoulders back and down, core sucked in nice and tight. If you can, folks, maybe just start with your right arm out to the right, shoulder height level. Maybe have your left hand, left hip, lift the left heel, then lift your left knee up to hip height, nice and bent. Try if you can now to grab your left knee, and then just try to pull that left knee out to the left. Hit line with your hips. Okay, good stretch for your left inner thigh here, folks. Good test of balance as well. Maybe just down on a bit of pulse with your right arm if you're a poser like me, or keep it still, and then bring the knee back in and put it down. Alright, so other side, out you go, left arm, straight to shoulder height level, core sucked in still, hand on the hip, right heel off the floor, right knee now coming up to hip height. Try to grab the right knee with right hand, and keeping the hips nice and still, just try and open up that right leg to the right, and feel a good stretch going on for your right inner thigh. Maybe add a bit of pulse onto your left arm as well for a challenge. Don't lose it, and then pause, bring the knee back in, and plant your foot down there. So some really good stretches for the inner thighs there. We're now going to just open the feet nice and wide, let the feet face forwards, keep the core sucked in nice and tight, and we're just going to put some deep bend into those knees, folks. We're going to plant your hands flat on the floor, but pointing the hands laterally, so your fingers are spread out, left hand pointing to the left foot, and vice versa. And from there, if you just want to begin a nice steady process of lunging side to side, nice and deep into your knees there. Okay, so we're just promoting lots of flex throughout your inner thigh adductors. Take your time, folks. Breathing in and blowing out for 3 and 2 and 1. So from there, just push yourself into the ground, slowly roll back up, take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and this time staying wide in the feet, but let the feet face forwards. We're just going to have a little bit of lateral lunge from side to side, just steady, continual pace, just having some bending into those knees, stretch those inner thighs, folks. 3 and 2 and 1. So hopefully you start to feel more mobile as we go. So from here, coming down onto the floor, onto your knees if possible, And then just lifting your knees off the ground, walk your hands in, try to plant your fingertips in front, place your elbows inside towards your inner thighs, and get a great big stretch through your adductors there, okay? Just hold that there, real tight one, breathing in and blowing out, 3, 2 and 1. So now, just working into the glutes, a little bit of stretch right your glutes, folks. Okay, around that hip joint area, can you just start on your butt and place your hands behind your flat. I'm going to just cross a right ankle over your left thigh, slide your left heel towards your left glute, and that gets a good stretch into your right glute muscle. But if you can, walk your fingertips closer into your butt, sit up tall, stretch into that right glute area really well, and then maybe just push over to your left a bit. If you can, hold, 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 tight stretch going on, and release and walk the hands back. Okay, we now cross left ankle over the right thigh, sliding that right foot in towards the right glute. That might be tight enough for you, but if you can walk hands further into glutes, sit up nice and tall, stretch into that left glute zone, folks. Hold, 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 breathe in, push over to your right a little bit, really get it into there, guys, stretching into that left glute zone. 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, so now we come back to the hips, so just feel free to lie down for this one, and we're just going to have our arms by our sides, head down the floor, and in fact we're going to just have one hand on your left knee, your other hand on your on your left ankle, should I say. Just bring in a little bit of rotation. To be honest, you're probably okay without holding on to the thigh. Just little rotations, changing direction, promoting that hip mobilizing effect, guys. Okay, so if you're tight in this area, this is something to do regularly. If you're finding the rotation difficult, and then from there into your half table, stick your right hand onto your right thigh, left hand onto your bent left knee, folks. Breathing in, slowly pull that left knee apart now, and you'll feel an almighty stretch going on in that left adductors. Just hold, breathe and relax. Nice and slow. Breathing in again, out to the mouth. Maybe just put a bit of pressure on that thigh as well. You might just get a tiny bit extra, even if it's just a millimeter, into your thigh opener there. Okay, so bring that back in. Once again, with hands on the floor, we'll just give the knee some rotation, change in direction as well, circle it around, and then place the leg down. So here we are again, this time with the right knee. So just let that right heel drop and give the right knee some rotation first of all. Hopefully you're moving freely and easily, but if you're tight, don't worry, just perform this as often as you can and it will get better, folks. Okay, so here we are back into half table. Left palm on your left thigh, right hand on right knee, in through the nose, out to the mouth, pull the knee out to your right now. So one side might be tighter than the other, it might be equal, but just breathe and hold, get into that inner thigh, opening up, guys, nice and tight. Take another inhale through nose, out to the mouth, just maybe push down a bit tighter if you can, really get as much out of this as you can, guys. So just hold, breathe, make it more bearable, keep breathing, and then slowly bring the right knee back here, not too quick, just so you don't pull anything, and then back in to your rotation effect there. Okay, slowly to the other side, and then coming into the hip twist. So we're going to go into tabletop, knees together bent, feet together glued, spread your arms out wide into an open T shape there, into that nose, out to the mouth, dropping your bent legs over to the right, maybe turning your head to the left if you can, and just really feel that going on in the left hip area, folks. Good stretch. Breathe, head back to the middle, press your hands into the floor, bring legs back to table, middle, and then twisting them over to your left this time. Maybe turn head to the right. Breathe and hold, opening up the right side of your hip. Okay. Stretch down that side. Breathing in, pressing hands into the floor. You can stick with that level, or maybe just attempt straight legs now. And as the head goes to the left, straight legs drop out to the right, so you're kind of in 90 degrees with your body now. Okay, but if that's uncomfortable, by all means, just bend the knees. Alright. But I would bend them to come back into the middle, so just slide your feet along the floor, press your palms into the ground, up to the tabletop center, in through the nose, ups, and then straighten the legs if you can. If you like, out to the left, breathe in, maybe turn head to the right. Really get down that waist and into your hip, folks. Okay, hold. And head turn to the right, come back to the middle. Slide your knees back to bent. And then press your hands into the floor. So from there, we'll just place the hands onto the knees, each hand on the knee this time. Just go for that assisted knee rotation then. Opening up, get rid of any tension or tightness in the hip zones. 3, 2, and 1. And then if you just place your feet down flat, with your feet flat and knees together bent, drop your palms up to the side, facing up to the ceiling there. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring those knees apart, join your feet together flat, open up your inner thighs. Feel free to close your eyes down and relax. With a gap in the chin, open that mouth, breathe in slow. Blow out. Take a breath in through your nose now, and then out through the mouth. Nice and calming for the mind, but you might just feel like you can press your thighs down a tiny bit more. Just place your fingertips onto your thighs. You might just be getting a bit extra throughout the inner thigh adductors, folks. Just hold and hold. Breathe in again through nose, out through the mouth. And feeling a lot better in the adductors. Okay, now don't worry if you can't get your knees close to the floor at all. If you can only get them out to here, honestly, the more you do it, the further you'll get over time. It has to happen, okay? So from there, we'll now just cross the left ankle over your right thigh, similar to what we did sitting up before. Just crossing an ankle over your right thigh there, lifting your foot off the ground. Grab your left knee and left foot, pull in towards your middle, and then push out to your right a bit, just stretching down the outer glute zone. Okay, a little change over. Right ankle crossed over left thigh now, left foot off the ground, grab right knee and right foot, hug into your midsection, folks, push over to the left if possible. 3, 2, and 1. Uncross those, keep a hold of knees, pull yourselves up, and just coming into one more in the seated position, just similar to what we've just done. Knees are bent, feet are flat currently, but then taking knees apart, join your feet together, hands on the ankles, breathe in, just apply some elbow pressure into your inner thighs there, so just really maximising the inner thigh hip openness. Just hold, and hold again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's just a series of movements that you might find beneficial, folks. Particularly the ones on the feet at the start, bringing in that knee lift for your outward rotation. So if you can't get much, you don't feel too mobile at the moment in your hip joint, Hopefully you will if you do this 3 times a day. Alright, well done, thanks.